Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. If you can get above that, you'll be off to the races with 74,000 and probably even more after that. I believe that this line will break and that you will likely stop at 74 and then break through. Robert Kiyosaki thinks that Bitcoin will go up even more and could hit $350,000 by the middle of 2024. Crypto entrepreneur Willy Woo talks about when the possible end of Bitcoin's rise might happen. He says it will end when a lot of people invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin only makes up 4.7% of the market capitalization right now, which shows that it has a lot of room to grow. It looks like both Kiyosaki and Wu think Bitcoin will continue to grow. Felix Lowe, who is vice president of El Salvador, thinks that Bitcoin is the key to getting the country's economy off of foreign currencies like the US dollar. He talks about the efforts being made by lawmakers to include cryptocurrencies in the country's economy. Bitcoin is seen as a key way for El Salvador to break free from official currency and achieve economic independence. Going back to the gut is ruled out because it would cost too much, which leads to the investigation of incorporating cryptocurrency. To help the economy become more open, El Salvador's digital assets law covers cryptocurrencies, tokens, and other digital assets. People think that Bitcoin will boost tourists, which shows that it is good for the economy. If it does flush down there though, I'd still buy because after 2 hits, you generally still bounce on the third. When you reach 4 and 5, you need to be very, very careful. That's some really useful knowledge about hits on trend lines. Gold is going up a little today, right? Gold is going up. Okay, that's fine. In general, it's still negative. By drawing a line here, we can see that you have the wide range bar and are chopping there. It's something we see every day. This part of the game plan talks about that trend. Still net now. What if there is more uncertainty around the world? Could you start trading above that? Yes, that means the bearish pattern is no longer valid and the positive odds take over. But since we're still moving in the same direction, you would give it a B, which means it's bearish, which means the odds are against it. Why is the SP here before the market opens? There is some weakness, but not a lot. This is because the big players have been controlling the market, the $6 trillion companies that are rated anywhere from 1 trillion to over 3 trillion. They have been in charge of the SP 500 and the NASDAQ 100. But we're seeing some weakness this morning. We closed yesterday here. We're now out in the open. We're moving around a little. I want to make it clear what's going on. There were a few things that happened here. First, the dollar-yen, which is the dollar compared to the yen, had a crazy ride overnight. To say it again, this is like an earthquake for the foreign markets. It's very important. What did this happen? The Japanese central bank said they would buy fewer bonds and start reducing the size of their balance sheets. The amount of money they owed was going to go down. Putting these two things together made the market volatile overnight, and investors are starting to worry about the global financial system because this is a change from the Japanese central bank. To sum up, the dollar-yen has been going through a crazy time. It's been known for a long time that the dollar-yen kept going up and up until the Japanese central bank had to step in about a month ago. But once more, this is making markets around the world nervous this morning. On top of that, there is a general feeling of fear around the world. If we look at the CAC, which is the French stock market, we can see that this is its daily chart, right? Take a look at this flip. This is only this week, it's down 6%. It was even higher just a few weeks or a month ago. There was a big drop-off and roll-off. What's going on here is that France's government is going through a lot of changes. Someone in the French government was even asked if this could lead to a financial collapse. The answer was yes. It's not often that an official says something like that. Still, we've seen it again today. Just look at the drop in the CAC here and yesterday, as well as the chaos. We now have a situation where things are beginning to shake around the world. And things are still pretty calm in the US. Prices are beginning to drop, but it looks like the job market is getting worse based on yesterday's initial claims number and some of the most recent figures. But that made the VIX go up again. If we look at the VIX overnight, which is the volatility measure, it did go up, but it's since gone back down a bit. So let's look at the VIX and see how it changed overnight. It's come back in as things start to settle down a bit. But these are people, mostly institutions, who are buying protection for their investments. Institutions are driving up the VIX because they want to buy instability. To put it simply, the VIX goes up when volatility goes up. If there is a lot of fear, the VIX goes up. If there is no fear or fear stays low, the VIX will go back up. To say it again, people are buying safety on the market today. Okay, let's think about it. What do you guys think will happen? Where would the money go if everyone is scared? And safe haven assets should be the answer. What are investments in a safe haven? gold, the US dollar, and the stock market.